Madge Magwif, morning. Tá Madge Gaholan, lovely morning this morning. Tá Green ton of sun is shining, Tá Chuck Goma. Temperature's just nice. Now, and I'm doing my stairs there and continuing on. And this is my steel square. And it's always good or handy to have these little guys here. They're called stair gauges. So if you're ever doing stair work, they're a must. You can do it with lats as well across it, clamped, but stair gauge is very handy. So that's always useful for setting out. Now, it's never mentioned really on camera or in joinery or carpentry is that there's a link between the two of them. Now, I always use trigonometry when I'm working out the rise and the going. So the stairs is very similar to roof and timbers. So the joiner is interested in the going, which is the step or tread, and the rise here, which is the vertical lift. So the joiner is interested in that to set out. And the carpenter is interested in the other part. He's interested in the hypotenuse or the rafter. Now, we're both after the same thing. We're both after the pitch angle here, and we're also after the seat angle here. So we can work them out using a little bit of trigonometry, and that's what I'd always do. So I'd have a steel square set up, and I'd have my stair gauges on it with the going. In my case here, the going is 255 mil and the rise is 180 because it's a pool I want to tread quite long because there's somebody going into a wet surface. So I'll make it the tread as big as possible in this case. Now, the actual chop saw is a gift. Comes into its own when we're doing cuts because the chop saw itself, it can swivel to one angle here, 60 degrees to the right hand side, and that's a gift when you're doing cut string stairs, an absolute gift. Now, I could actually do it on my cross-cut saw over, but I'd have to set up stops in that. But and that's what I used to use. So the chop saw is ideal for that. Now, you need to be experienced when you're doing this because you have very controlled movements. But just one thing about the chop saw, when people are using it, they're normally coming down and allowing the wheel there to lift the actual blade guard. Now, that's not always necessary. When you want absolute control, the serrations here on the side of this one here, the gaps there for the vent gaps, they're ideal for putting your thumb into there and your index finger there, and you can lift that so you can see the blade. Now, it's only for experienced people, but you can see the blade at all times. And instead of relying on the rubber here, you can lift that to have a little peak there to make sure that you're absolutely accurate and that you're using the saw in a controlled fashion. So, as I said, it's for experienced people, but I would use that technique there just to lift that ever so slightly because it's important to be able to see it. Tashe Tabakdak. It is important to be able to see the intersection point. So there's no danger in it simply because there's no guard exposed or there's no blade exposed and the saw is going down as I expose the blade, so it's always safe. So all I want to be able to do is see the limit here and here when I'm doing the chop. So in this case, I have my cuts done. I can only cut them so far, and if I turn this guy up like that, you can see the cuts that have in it there, and I'll finish them off then with a handsaw. Bob's your uncle and you know who your aunt is. So, Sinead on law on you. That's all I show for today. Mahu was faking, good on you for looking. Tug the buggy and enjoy that sunshine today. All the best for now. Bye bye.